Hey everybody, Tom with Outdoor Miles here. We're going to talk about a topic that isn't necessarily fun, but it is important. If you own an RV, you've likely spent a lot of time thinking about where you're going to go, but perhaps not enough time thinking about what happens if something goes wrong. And the reality is that a small misunderstanding regarding your insurance can actually cost you thousands of dollars if not everything is right. So in this video, I'm going to walk through some of the most common RV insurance mistakes and a few things you'll want to double check before assuming that you're fully covered. If you're buying an RV and shopping for insurance, this will help you identify the questions you need to ask. And if you already have insurance, this is a great chance to review your policy to ensure that you're covered exactly how you want to be covered. Now, disclaimer, I am not an insurance agent and this is not professional insurance advice. I'm simply sharing common oversights that you can ask better questions and ensure that you get the right coverage for your specific situation. So let's get into it. Now, the first mistake to avoid is assuming that your truck or auto policy covers your RV. In some cases, your liability coverage will extend to a towable RV while you're driving, but that does not cover the damage to the RV itself. So let's say that you're towing your travel trailer down the road and you sideswipe another car. Well, your auto policy might cover the damage to the other vehicle, but it won't cover the damage to your trailer. This is why having dedicated RV insurance is so critical. Also, if you have a loan on your RV, your lender almost certainly requires this coverage. Now, another misconception, which is common, is that many people don't fully understand the difference between actual cash value, ACV, and replacement cost. This can make a huge financial difference. Now, ACV or actual cash value means that the insurance company pays out based on what your RV is worth at the time of the claim, factoring in depreciation. Since RVs depreciate very quickly, a payout might be far less than what you originally paid. Replacement cost coverage, however, can help replace your RV with a similar new model. Now, this usually costs more, but if you have a newer RV or a loan, it can save you from being underwater after a claim. So always check which version you're being quoted for because you don't want to just go with a cheaper one when you actually want to have replacement cost value in your policy. Now, a third mistake that some people make is overlooking vacation liability. Now, vacation liability isn't to cover the cost of your campground stay. It is kind of like homeowner's insurance while you're staying at the campground. So think of it like this. You're at the campground, a windstorm comes through, and it blows your awning off. Now that awning starts blowing down the road, it hits somebody on a bike or it blows into another RV or a car. Um, that vacation liability insurance will cover you just like personal liability will do at your house. And it isn't automatically included in every policy. So you do want to check on that. And there are some campgrounds or storage facilities that are going to actually require proof that you have this coverage. But the thing to remember is if you own a home, you might want to ask your insurance provider if your primary's homeowner liability insurance will transfer to the campground so that you don't end up paying for duplicate coverage. Now, the next mistake is not having the right coverage for full-time RVing. If you live in your RV full-time, a standard recreational policy isn't going to be enough. You'll need a full-time RV policy. And not every company offers this, and it's more expensive than a policy for, let's say, a weekend warrior, because the insurance company treats your RV as your primary residence. Without it, you could face gaps in coverage that you didn't even realize were there. If you are going full-time, be transparent with your insurance provider. You don't want to face a denied claim because you were using a regular policy for full-time living. There's a lot of information online, and if you connect with some full-time families, many of them will recommend some insurance companies that are more favorable to this type of lifestyle. Now, mistake number 5, not having emergency expense coverage. So imagine that you're halfway through your trip and your RV becomes unlivable due to a mechanical issue or maybe an accident. You're scrambling for a hotel, a rental car, flights home, maybe a U-Haul that you need to get all of your belongings out of the RV and take them home. Those expenses add up really fast. Emergency expense coverage helps cover these costs. It's usually not very expensive to add onto your policy. And if you travel frequently or camp far from home, it's a really good safety net to have. Mistake number 6, forgetting about personal belongings. Think about everything that you keep in your RV, your clothes, your electronics, your cooking gear, your outdoor equipment. It adds up really quickly. Not all policies automatically cover these items, or they may only cover a limited amount. I travel personally with my camera gear, my laptop, video equipment, and I need all that stuff for making these types of videos. So if there was a fire, theft, or flooding, not having this covered would be a major issue for me. So you want to make sure that you have the right coverage for the belongings that you take with you when you're in your RV. And also, just like vacation liability insurance, you want to check with your homeowners or maybe your renter's insurance policy to see if they already cover these belongings while you're traveling, so you're not paying for duplicate coverage. Okay, the next mistake is not listing all drivers. This one seems super simple, but it's vital. If anyone else might drive your RV, even occasionally, they need to be listed on your policy. If they aren't and something happens, it could create major headaches with your claim. So if you and your spouse are traveling together, you're likely on the same policy, but double check. But if you're traveling with friends and plan to take turns driving, make sure that arrangement is cleared with your insurance provider to avoid a denied claim down the road. Now, the last thing I want to point out is that when you're shopping for insurance, you don't only want to consider where you're going to be traveling to, you also have to consider where you're going to store your RV. Because some companies actually require that you keep the RV at your primary residence when you're not using it. And if you live in an area where you have to use a storage yard or keep it at the campground, some insurance providers will not allow that under their standard policy. So this actually happened to me, and I had to find a different insurance company because I was not able to keep my RV at my house at the time. So when you're shopping for insurance, be sure to inquire about that and make sure that if you are planning to use a storage yard or somewhere off-site, that they are okay with doing that under your standard policy. At the end of the day, RV insurance is not a one size fits all product. Your coverage should really match how you plan to use your RV. Are you traveling on the weekends or are you full-time RVing? Do you store your RV at home or are you keeping it at a storage facility? Do you take a lot of stuff with you? Do you have a lot of gear or do you keep it minimal? All of these things are going to impact the type of insurance that you want and the level of coverage that you need. So when you're shopping for insurance, the best thing to do is to shop around. Get multiple quotes. Prices will vary greatly. Make sure that you read the fine print and ask plenty of questions throughout different what-if scenarios to the agent, because when something eventually does go wrong, you want to make sure that you made the right call ahead of time. So again, these are just some helpful tips for anyone that is shopping for insurance or maybe you're reviewing your insurance policy. But if you did find this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. I'll be putting out some more RV content, tips, and real-world advice soon. And if you've run into any insurance surprises yourself, good or bad, drop them in the comments because that will help everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Happy trails.